Wow, did you guys really like the previous video? If you didn't see that video, the one I'm talking about is this video right here. Make money with viral videos. You don't have to watch that video. I'm not even encouraging you to. I'm going to briefly go over that, and I'm going to explain how I personally would do this method, and I'm going to go over the pros and the cons and a lot of the concerns that people were saying in a forum to be able to do this method successfully. Okay, so first off, I'm going to briefly go over the method. If you haven't seen it, I understand this might be a little bit boring. You're just going to have to fast forward ahead a little bit. Um, but the method that we're talking about here is using uh, a software called Flourish Studio, which I don't have any affiliation with or anything like that. This method has been around for a while. It's been kind of underground, and I've kind of pushed it to the forefront, right? So what this method is there's a software that makes these little line graphs. See if I can make this run real quick. And it makes these little bar graphs, and what they do is they move up and down based on the top 15 best global brands. This guy did a bunch of research, put a bunch of stuff into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or whatever they use, and this software inputs that data and spits it out in a nice, pretty visual display here, and people go crazy about it, right? I mean, it just has such a viral effect because people like Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Toyota, McDonald's, blah blah blah, right? They like all these brands, right? And basically, what you do is you tag them and you tag the brands and blah blah blah. We'll get to that part later, right? But one of the concerns was with this method was that it's pretty basic and it can get oversaturated really quick, right? So basically, what this method is, you're going to create a ton of videos like this and upload them to YouTube, monetize the videos through AdSense, and collect, right? Because they have such a viral factor to them that they literally go viral in a matter of days, weeks, at latest months. Some of the examples I used, literally every single video that they did had this viral effect to them, right? So this video right here has 10.4 million views. That's a lot of views. And we're going to say that roughly they're going to get $2 to $3 per thousand views. That guy got paid for this video. Okay. So how do you make this method work, right? How would you do it? So some of you guys are thinking a little bit under par, right? You're looking for that quick bam bam, I'm going to make 15, 20, 100 of these videos, hit it really hard, and that can still work. I don't care what anybody says, you can still do that. It's just going to become harder and harder as the competition comes in, right? But what if you didn't just use this method alone, right? What if you combined it with a couple other methods, right? So this is really easy to do. Now, guys, if you really want to make money online, you need to look and listen. If you really want to make money online, you have to think this way. Okay, there's not one cookie cutter method that's going to make you a millionaire. You need to build a brand. You need to build this whole entire empire. You can't just do it with this method alone, right? The first guy that got there, he had the easy street. The next 5, 10 guys behind him, a little bit harder. Once you start filtering down and down, you're making less and less and harder, right? Doesn't mean that you can't make a really good income by doing this method, because I totally believe that if you know how to promote, you can make this method work well into 100,000 people with these channels, right? So now that we know the method, how would I do it, right? How would I particularly do it? Well, the first thing I would do is I would make a YouTube channel in a broad niche, right? So you want to be able to encompass a bunch of different things. Like in this particular instance, I'm going to do what I call pop culture, right? So that's going to encompass, in this particular circumstance, what I would talk about is be streaming services or any kind of TV show or movie or something along that lines. I know music and sports are kind of in pop culture as well, but I think music and sports could be its own completely different thing. So we're talking about video here. We're talking about TV and movies for the most part, right? So what would I do, right? So I created my YouTube channel. It's in a broad niche. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to get a domain, right? So this is the domain that I picked, Stream in the Now, right? It's got kind of a nice saying comes off the tip of the tongue. It took me 15 minutes to just siphoning through to find this. Stream in the Now. None of the letters here kind of like repeat, and it's got a very brandable kind of thing going to it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a blog, right? Nothing complicated. And before you lose your shit, don't worry. This isn't going to, we're not overcomplicating this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put WordPress on this, right? If you don't know how to do this stuff, you're going to have to check out and do some research. It's really not that difficult to buy a domain from GoDaddy, get some hosting, and put some WordPress on there. There's tons of information in the forums. There's tons of information on YouTube. Okay. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to create a basic blog. It doesn't have to be anything crazy fancy or anything like that. Because remember, we're in a particular niche. We're in, TV, movies, right? We just want it to be somewhat themed. If you've ever did Shopify, it's kind of that same concept where you want a general store. You don't want a very specific store. You want to be able to hunt different products that you have an opportunity to really expand, right? To really just to ramp it up, right? So this is kind of the same topic, right? So the reason why is because TV shows, movies, and such like that, they're promoted well in advance, and they also are on cycles, right? So take Marvel, for instance. Marvel is in its like its fourth, I forget what they call it, but it's just like its fourth. I don't know, but it's in its fourth setting. So like the first movies were like Iron Man, Spider Man, blah blah blah. Now they're in their fourth level, so to speak, right? And once you get to this point, you already know what's coming, right? You have a backlog of catalog of information to pull from, right? So Iron Man's going to say a certain catchphrase. You know that somebody's blah blah blah. That's all data that you can use for Flourish, right? For this right here. So you can make the top 10 sayings by Marvel characters, 2000 blah blah 2000 blah, and you can have it ranked over time, that every time that they say their particular catchphrase, and you have the movie streaming up here. That's just one example, right? So what you're going to do is you have your blog Stream in the Now. By the way, this isn't taken, so literally whoever gets it first, congratulations, right? Because I'm not buying this. So basically, you got your blog, you got WordPress set up on it. You're going to get just a real basic template, and you're going to create your first Flourish thing, right? Your first Flourish uh, bar chart, right? So what I did was, what's really, really popular right now is Stranger Things, right? It just came out on Netflix July 4th. That's I would have already known that, though. I would have already known that weeks and months ago. So I would have had this all prepped up, ready to go, right? So you want a bunch of information about Stranger Things. And what you're going to do is you're going to join um, all the Facebook groups on Stranger Things. So if you look at this one, apparently, by the way, Stranger Things in Latin America is like crack cocaine. They love themselves some Stranger Things. So you got Stranger Things Latino America with 222,000. This group's got 35, 15. As you can see, there's a lot of this. And by the way, this has a viral effect, right? So people are going to see this and they're going to be like, "Ooh," they're going to click on that. This is going to get you clicks, right? But what you're doing is you're going to create yourself a blog post about something about Stranger Things. Now you have 3 seasons of Stranger Things. Whatever you're going to measure how many times Eleven's nose bleeds, right? That's going to be like one of the things that you do, right? Something along that times. How many times the Demigorgon, or how many times Demigorgon is said, something like that. One of the big things that I've seen with uh, Game of Thrones was screen time. How much each character had screen time. Now, mind you, they had a million characters in that, and that's why it was so. But something along that lines, where you're looking at a specific. How often do you see 11? How often do you blah blah blah? So you come up with your. Now you've got your idea, right? Now you're going to create your blog post, and you could do this two ways, right? I would just do the flourish uh, video that you're going to put on YouTube, and then write a blog post, a simple blog post, something catchy that's, hey, this is a video about blah blah blah. Um, just get some words on a page kind of thing. Or you could do a more like really really in depth uh, blog post that really checks a lot of, and that way you can also rank in Google search for years to come for anybody that likes Stranger Things, right? And that's probably the route that I would go, is more of a quality over quantity. I don't really, you want people to land on this web page, and they're going to watch the video, they're going to read all your crap, they're going to, because now on top of this, they're going to watch the video on YouTube, and then you're going to have ads on your channel or on your blog post as well. So you're going to have AdSense on your blog post, you're going to have AdSense on your video, right? Your embedded video on your post, right? So you're just going to go down multiple different ways. So now you have, you got your blog post up, and you've got all these groups that you're posting to, which are going to have a viral effect. Then you're going to head over to Reddit, right? And I didn't look into this right here, but I'm pretty sure Stranger Things has got to have some subreddit love here. But basically what you're going to do is the same thing, right? So you got television right here. That's got 1.1 thousand comments, right? See, so it's telling you that okay, this is a great example, right? You can use Reddit. So Stranger Things season 3 will have Coca-Cola related plot points sponsored by Coca-Cola. So what you could do is you can literally create a flourish uh, um, running bar or racing bar chart about how many times Coca-Cola is referenced in Stranger Things season 3. Something along that right? So what you're going to do is you're going to look. So here you got Stranger Things right here, right? You've got definitely tons of. You can see Stranger Things 378,000 members. This one's only got 3.5, but I'm guessing television would be a good thing to have a subreddit too. So you're going to find a bunch of subreddits, and you're going to post your article in those subreddits, right? And again, it's going to have such a viral effect because your video is really awesome, and you're going to have a high quality blog post, maybe some really good pictures. If you can find a way around the copywriting, maybe you could do some fan art, maybe you can just some promo things, something along that way. Just stick away from the copywriting thing. But again, this is going to get you huge amounts of traffic, right? Next thing you could do is you come over to Twitter, right? Twitter's dead, right? Twitter's dead. All of these movie stars, and TV stars, any actor, actress, they all have Twitter. They all have um, social media presence, right? I guarantee you tweet something like this at one of these actors, they're going to retweet it. I guarantee you put you put an hour into a high quality racing bar, and one of these actors are in it. One of them, if you have 10 actors in it, and you literally tweet at them, each one of them is going to retweet it. It's going to go viral. I can almost I can just almost guarantee that that's what's going to happen, right? So you're basically going to tweet them your article or whatever with the racing bar, however you want to do it, so that you might want to show a video with the link, right? So that's probably the way that I would do it, is I'd have like a GIF or something along that lines, a small section where whatever you're going to show the highest accelerating growth. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have like a little video, and then you're going to have your actual check out the post here. And I guarantee you it's going to catch a lot of eyes. So that's what you're literally going to do with this. So to the person, I'm not going to say exact names, But to the person that said that this method is dead, it's not dead. You just haven't expanded it. And I know that you have 2 or 3 of the predominant channels doing this particular thing. And what I would say to you is try expanding your mind, try expanding and thinking outside of the box, right? So don't just sit there and pump out these videos and like rest on your laurels, so to speak. Now that you have all the digital assets, go out there and create yourself blog posts and repurpose that content into a blog, right? So now you have multiple forms. Now you're going to rank with SEO. You're going to tons of stuff that you can do with this, right? If it were me, I would have did that, from the start. I would have built an entire digital asset that I'm going to have for years to come, right? So guys, I hope you really like this, and I will definitely see you guys soon in the next video.